South Park is known for its hilarious and edgy content, and a new promo for South Park joining the Panderverse has released where these creatives are absolutely destroying woke Hollywood for race and gender swaps. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. Now, I personally love South Park. I've watched it for years. I think that it's hilarious, and I'm just so happy that so much of the content is still extremely edgy, especially now when there are so many sensitive snowflakes that are constantly attacking things that they dislike. But a brand new trailer has released for South Park joining the Panderverse that shows all of our favorite characters being race and gender swapped in an attempt to mock woke Hollywood. And I'm sure that this is going to infuriate the snowflakes out there. I bet that we are going to see writers and creatives in Hollywood absolutely attack this and say that this is so offensive and it's so mean and you shouldn't be creating content like this. But I think that this is going to be hilarious. It comes out a day after my birthday. We don't really know all that much about it because the trailer was only 29 seconds. They said that they're going to be releasing another one shortly. But just from this, you can really get a gist of what they're doing. I mean, you have got the classic social justice warrior look on Butters. Cartman is now a voluptuous black woman. Stan, I know everyone is thirsting over hot Kenny, emo Kenny. I think that this is gonna be really freaking hilarious because, again, the creatives on South Park are definitely not afraid to take chances. They know that there are going to be plenty of people out there who are going to be upset no matter what they release, so they just figure we might as well launch whatever we feel like. And of course, the comments are filled with jokes that are just too good. I know I personally made a post about this. I said Netflix's adaptation of South Park because it's so true. But people are doing things like posting the trying not to laugh memes. Of course, okay, guys, hear me out with Hot Kenny. I think that this is going to be a fantastic special that is going to truly get those salty tears pouring. People are saying things like, looks amazing. Can someone explain what the Panderverse is? I mean, if you don't know what pandering is, you're definitely a bit out of the loop. But of course, Hollywood over the past few years has definitely pandered to the woke or modern audience by race and gender swapping, you know, our favorite characters and remakes and reboots. And this is most certainly a slight towards the creatives in the industry right now. And it's unfortunate, but I haven't had that many chances to talk about South Park on the channel because even though I like South Park, a lot of the times snowflakes kind of ignore what South Park is doing. And since I'm not reviewing episodes of, you know, my favorite shows all the time, I don't get to talk a lot about the content that they're creating. But I remember I more recently had to talk about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry because they were actually threatening to sue South Park, and they were furious that South Park publicly mocked them. Apparently, the Duchess was not only annoyed with how she was mercilessly mocked by South Park, but she also refused to watch her brutal takedown, and sources close to Meghan said that she felt upset and overwhelmed after the show's spoof of her was introduced as a sorority girl, actress, influencer, and victim. And then, of course, in South Park, they completely mocked the worldwide privacy tour about how these two individuals constantly say, we want privacy, but then they do things in order for people to be talking about them. They say they want privacy, but they do everything in their power to make their lives as public as possible. So yeah, I mean, I remember I had to talk about this. But this is too funny. This is too good. People are also saying things on Twitter, about this, like they missed an easy joke by not calling it an inclusive event. I think they probably will do something like that when they get a little bit closer to the release of this, because it is still, 2 weeks away. But yeah, people are also saying things like, I'm weak, Cartman being a black woman is hilarious. I will have to watch this. I love South Park. It's just such an easy thing to make fun of, which is why I think so many people are going to absolutely love this and think it's hilarious, because we do see Hollywood doing this time and time again to get those ESG scores up, the DEI initiatives that they're pushing. They are constantly race swapping, gender swapping characters, and they're trying to be very serious about it. And then, of course, they turn around and call us racists or toxic if we don't like these things. But with South Park, it's one episode, it's one special, it's making fun of the individuals and the creatives that are doing this, and it's too hilarious. And of course, like clockwork, there are already so many people triggered about this. AV Club put up an article titled, "There's a new South Park event teaser, and God, we're already so tired." South Park's bizarre transition from a traditional TV show that puts out more than 6 episodes a year into a more sporadic event series has largely been a consequence of external factors, most notably the big, complicated, and very ugly legal battles that have been waged between Paramount, South Park Digital Studios, and Max owners. The upshot for us, though, is that the long-running series can kind of sneak up on you sometimes, meaning that something like the new trailer for Joining the Panderverse, released earlier today, can hit you with no more time and preparation. Woof, yeah, this one's a lot. They go on to say the basic gimmick, at least from the trailer, is that the South Park boys have been replaced with adult women of color in what may or may not be some kind of nightmare that Cartman is having. It says the Spider-Man reference title suggests that the show will be offering its take on increasing calls for diversity in mainstream media, or at least allegations that said calls are cynically exploited by studios to make money, which they 100% are, may I point out. And hey, do you get these pounding headaches in the front of your skull while watching this stuff? We get those pounding headaches in the front of our skull. I mean, they are so angry that this is happening. They're saying things like, oh, they're only allegations. Companies don't do this in order to make money. They actually care about diversity and inclusivity, when of course they would if it actually made them money. That's all that they care about at the end of the day, is making money, which is what companies are about. But they're saying, oh, it's giving me a headache just thinking about this latest gimmick that's so offensive. They're just so upset about this, while a lot of people are just viewing it as what it is, which is just a hilarious joke. This whole entire special looks stunning and brave and hilarious for all of the right reasons. I will be watching this. I'll most likely be talking about it when it releases as well, because I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of tears flowing online, a lot of people triggered by this because it's already starting, but I think that this is going to be hilarious. Good on the South Park creatives for doing this, and I do love seeing content like this released that just absolutely annihilates creatives that are part of woke Hollywood. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.